Already discussed about the memory organization and main memory, right? The main memory is also called as RAM, right? How it organizes the data. Yes, now the next question, that is explain three major categories of machine instructions with suitable example. Machine instructions. First of all, what is instruction? Right? See, you already studied C, right? If in the C program, for example, I am telling you, if you wrote int a comma b, right? Here this semicolon, this comma is also an instruction and semicolon is also an instruction. Instruction means you are passing some commands. Military the command antar, right? If you are passing some commands, means if you are saying something to the machine. See here, if you are saying something to the compiler, that is turbo C, what is that? A comma b means here a is a one variable and b is another variable. If you remove the comma, then your compiler can understand that ab is a single variable, means here comma is doing something, right? If it is saying it is something instruction, it is giving some instruction. So semicolon, this is also an instruction. This instructs that it is end of line, right? That is end of line. So like this, here we are giving some instructions, that is machine instructions. Yes, what are those instructions, right? See here, the data transfer instruction. First, there are three major categories, that is data transfer instructions, arithmetic and logic instructions, and control instructions. It is compulsory fixed question, right? What is that? The first three, under the three categories, the first category is data transfer instructions. What the data transfer instruction is, right? Here how the data can be transferred from one device to another device. To transfer the data from one to another, it has some instructions, right? Yes, what is that instructions? According to that instructions only the data can be transferred from one device to another. See, look at here how the data can be transferred. There are data transfer can be used to move data from one location to another, right? They do not alter the data. In the data instructions, in the first category, we can transfer the data from one location to another location. We don't have any authority to alter that. Alter means to change that, right? We are not having any authority to change the data. Just we are transferring the data from one location to another location. That comes under the data transfer instructions. Are you getting? The data transfer instruction, the name itself indicates we are transferring the data from one location to the another location. We are not going to alter the data. Alter is nothing but change the data, right? Yes, now what is that? For example, because the question is explained with suitable example, right? Yes, for the data transfer, there is an example called as move a comma b, right? Here we can copy the content of register B into the register A. Whatever the data is present in the register B, we are copying to the register A. We are moving the data from B to from A. Even if you are working with a computer, if you should if you are working with a computer, there is a copy paste, right? And there is a cut paste. What is the difference between copy paste and the cut paste? If you do copy paste, means the original content is there in that location only. Just we are copying, means we are making Xerox of that. We getting? Cut paste means 100% we are removing the whole content and we are, say here, just we are copying. We are not cut, right? We are copying the content of register B into the register A. That indicates that move A comma B, right? And another one example, that is load R1 2000, right? So it is that it loads the data from memory location 1000 into the register R1. There is some data is stored in the location of 1000, right? In the 1000 address, that indicates that the address of your memory, right? What the data is stored at the address of the 1000, that data can be loads into the register R1, right? So here directly I wrote the register B. Here this is not the register, this is location of that address, right? Where your data can be stored. This is location, this is direct register, right? Now here store R1 comma 2000, right? It stores the data from register R1 into the memory location 2000, right? In the memory location 2000, what data can be stored, right? That data can be stored to register R1. This is the concept of data transfer instructions. Here we can transfer the data from one location to another location. We cannot alter the data, right? For example, one is move, load and store, right? We are moving the data from one register to another, and we are loading the data which is present at the memory location of 1000. We are loading to the register R1. Here we are storing the data which is present at the location of 2000, that can be storing into the register card R1, right? This is about the data transfer instructions. Now come to the arithmetic and logical instructions. The name itself indicates it's arithmetic and logical, means it's 100% related with the mathematics, right? Arithmetic, what are the basic arithmetic operation? Addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. The same thing we are doing here, right? See here, if I wrote add a comma b, the meaning of this is we are adding the values of a and b, right? Same subtraction a comma b, so we are adding, we are subtracting the value which are present at b from a, right? See, that is multiplication, a into b. Division, that is a by b, right? This is the arithmetic. And the logical, see here, I think already you are familiar about these gates, right? And gate, or gate, ಓದಿರಲಿವಲ್ಲ ಮೂರ ಅಂದ್ರಿ ಹಾನ ಅಂದ ಸಾತ್ ಹಣದಂತ ಕುಂದ್ರಬೇಡಿ. Right, see now, see that is AND gate, a comma b, it performs bitwise operation of AND, right? It is bitwise OR, it is bitwise XOR, that is exclusive OR. And this is NOT gate, this is complement of a, right? Complement means exactly ulta, right? That is complement. Now come to the last one, that is called control instructions. See, in C programming you studied, right? There is some control loops, right? So same here, the control instructions we call branching, right? The branching statements called as switch, right? For example, it controls the flow of execution of a program. The name itself indicates it is a control instructions, right? The name itself indicates it is a control instruction, means it can control the whole flow of your program, how your program is flowing from one instruction to another instruction, that is controlling by some unit, that is called as control unit, or you can say control instructions, right? Now changing the sequence in which instructions are executed while your program is going on under the execution, which instruction is going to execute first, which instruction is going to execute second, which is last, that can be controlled by the control instruction. Yes, what is that? For example, jump, right? 2000, this is unconditional jump in to memory, right? So this is unconditional, there is no condition, because when your program is under the execution, for example, if your program is under the execution of 500 lines of code, so after the 501 line, if you using jump, right, at that time jump, what is that? 2000, right? So at that time your cursor can directly move to the line number 2000. That is unconditional, there is no condition at all. If your computer, if your compiler can reach to the jump instruction, automatically it can jump to the line number 2000, because there is no condition. So this is unconditional memory statement, right? Now again, this is JZ 3000, again jump to add 3000 if the zero flag is set. If the flag is zero, if the flag is set to 0, then we can go for ZZ. Now another one is RET, that is written from the subroutine. If you want to return from that, we can use for RET, right? So there is an example for control instruction is jump. If you write any one or two, it's enough, right? That is jump, JZ and RET, that is return. The arithmetic and logical expression, the example is a plus b, that is add, sub, multiply and division. For the logical, and or XOR and complement. And for this transfer is move, load and store, right? Any doubt? Yes, again, for within a 1 minute, there are 3 major categories: transfer instructions, arithmetic and logic, control. In the transfer, we can transfer the data from one location to another, and we cannot alter that, right? For example, move, load and store. And the second is arithmetic, right? Here in the arithmetic, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. And in the logical, and or XOR and complement, right? And again in the control instructions, jump and JZ. The name itself indicates it can control the flow of our program.